then it's fine. Just Astha, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Is there any noise from my side? No, na.
No, sir.
Okay, okay. I think then Zoom's noise cancellation is very good because I mean there's a lot of noise here. Fair. Okay. Now, in electrochemistry, so just a bit of introduction for Sarah. In electrochemistry, we have two different types of cells. We have electrochemical cell and we have electrolytic cell. Now, in the last lecture, we have done electrochemical cell completely. We started with electrolytic cell in this class. Okay. In the last class, we started with electrolytic cells, and now we are going to continue with electrolytic cell. So what happens in electrolytic cell? I hope you guys have revised a bit. In electrolytic cell, the cations, they move towards the negative sign, and these cations get reduced. The anions move towards the positive side, and they get oxidized, right? So two things happen. The positively charged cation, it is moving towards the negative side, and the negatively charged is moving towards the positive side of the battery. Okay, so the positive and negative side, positive and negative polarity, these are coming from the battery, positive and negative. Okay. Now, in the last lecture, we did some introduction, I think. Yeah, we have done some introduction here. On passing, anions reach. Okay. Now, right? Now we'll look at different electrolytic cell, and we are going to deduce or we are going to predict what is the product of the electrolysis. So please write the topic: qualitative analysis of electrolysis. Please write first of all the criteria for formation of product. The criteria for formation of product during electrolysis depends on the following factor. Depends on the following factors. Number one, nature of electrolyte. Okay, so what is the electrolyte we are taking? Are we taking KCl or are we taking NaCl? Are we taking CuSO4? Are we taking AgSO4? That is going to matter. Second is the mode of electrolyte. In mode of electrolyte, it can either be aqueous or it can be molten state, or it can be molten. Third, nature of electrode. Nature of electrode. It can either be inert or it can be active. Fourth, concentration of solution. Okay. Now, these are the four criteria which determine the product of electrolysis. What are we going to get? The main criteria, the most important criteria are the first and second criteria are the most important. Then we are going to look at some of the electrodes which are inert and some of the electrodes which are inert. And then at last, we are going to look at the concentration of the solution, how it is going to affect the product of an electrolysis. First of all, write this. Let me know when once you're done. Done. Let me know, please.
Yes, sir. Done.
Now, let's understand the product of electrolysis. I discussed this I just touched the surface in the last class. Let's suppose we have a electrolyte that is NaCl. So we'll obviously be having Na plus and we will be having Cl negative, right? So if we have only one cation and we have only one anion, then the product is very easy to predict, because see what is going to happen. Na plus is going to get an electron and it will give you Na solid. And here what is going to happen? Cl negative is going to give an electron, right? It's going to give an electron. That means -1 electron, and it is going to give you half Cl. So if we have only one cation and only one anion, then the cation is going to get, so we can predict very easily what is this is going to get reduced. The anion is going to get oxidized. Okay, so only one reaction can happen in the reduction case and only one reaction can happen in the oxidation case. Now, if you have more than one electrolyte or more than one cation or more than one anion, in that case it becomes a bit difficult. For example, let's suppose we have NaCl. Now this was molten. That means we took NaCl salt, we heated it up and we melted it. Now let's suppose we are having NaCl, but that is aqueous. If we are going to have aqueous NaCl, in that case we are going to have Na plus. Now from H2O, if you know, H2O can auto ionize into, it will give you some H plus ions and some OH negative ions also. Now we are having two cations here, Na plus and H plus. We are having two anions, Cl negative and OH negative. Now both of these can get reduced, right? But only one of them will get reduced. Both of them has the potential to get reduced, but only one of them is going to get reduced. In Cl negative and OH negative, both of them can get oxidized, but only one of them is going to get oxidized. Now, then it becomes a bit difficult on how to choose which of the cation is going to get reduced. Either Na plus is going to get reduced or H plus is going to get reduced. Either Cl negative is going to get oxidized or OH negative is going to get oxidized. Now, in this case, electrochemical series or the value of the electrode potential is very handy, and the cation which has higher E0 reduction, this gets reduced. See, both of them have the potential of getting reduced, but what will get reduced? The one which has higher potential. Okay, इसको ऐसे याद रखिएगा. Both the cations, if you have more than one cation, all the cations can get reduced. They have the potential to get reduced, but only one of them is going to get reduced. Which one? The one with highest potential. Then we have the oxidized case. In this, the one that is going to get oxidized has highest E0 oxidation, gets oxidized or loses electron. Is this clear? Yes or no? Please tell me, guys. Yes, tell me. Khalid, Minashi, Sara, tell me.
Yes, sir.
Understood? Yeah. Okay. Now we are going to write the same points. Okay. मोहम्मद उमर आप टाइम पे आया कीजिए ना, यू आर लाइक 20 minutes लेट। हाँ प्लीज राइट फर्स्ट, देन आई एम गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन। ओके please write and try to understand here only. It's very easy. Okay, write here remarks. If solution contains only one cation or anion, then formation of product can be easily predicted. Right, second point. If the solution contains more than one anion, then the anion with higher oxidation potential gets preferred at anode. That means उसका oxidation होगा. Right, next, if the solution contains products of electrolysis, Muhammad Umar, if the solution contains more than one anion, anion किस दिया ना हम लोगों ने, wait a second, more than one cation लिख लीजिए, anion is done, more than one cation then the cation with higher reduction potential higher reduction potential gets preferred at cathode. Let me know once you're done.
Done, sir.
Will you write next? Now we are going to look at the first electrolytic cell. Molten NaCl with platinum electrode. Okay, first of all, you are writing, since platinum is inert, it does not take part in electrolysis. Okay, platinum is inert, that is why it is not going to take part in electrolysis. That means the only metal that we are going to have is NaCl. The only electrolyte that we are going to have, the only species, chemical species that is going to take part is what? It is NaCl. Now, when we are going to melt NaCl, it is going to get converted into Na plus and Cl negative. Na plus and Cl negative. Now, since we are having only two species, one cation and one anion, we can easily predict what is the reaction that is going to happen at anode and what is the reaction that is going to happen at the cathode. So all of you are going to tell me. First of all, tell me at cathode. Cathode में क्या होता है? Reduction या oxidation? Tell me, guys. What happens at cathode? Reduction. Reduction होता है. Very good. Now, reduction means gain of electron or loss of electron? Reduction means what? Gain or loss of electron?
The gain of electron.
Gain.
Very good. Gain. कौन लॉस बोल रहा है भाई? आपका लॉस करा देंगे हम. खालिद, लॉस बोल रहे हैं क्या आप? हाँ खालिद.
सर नहीं, डिस्कनेक्ट हो गया था, मैं सोचा ऑक्सीडेशन का पूछ रहे.
अच्छा नहीं, कैथोड पूछ रहे हैं. कैथोड में होता है रिडक्शन, एंड रिडक्शन मींस गेन ऑफ इलेक्ट्रॉन. नाउ यू टेल मी, इलेक्ट्रॉन हैज नेगेटिव चार्ज. बताइए कौन गेन करेगा इलेक्ट्रॉन? सोडियम और क्लोरीन. कहाँ पे अट्रैक्शन होगा? व्हाट डू यू थिंक गाइस? Na plus is going sodium है ना, क्योंकि पॉजिटिव चार्ज है, राइट? सो एट कैथोड we'll have a reaction Na plus electron is going to give you sodium solid at cathode. Sorry, at anode we'll have Cl negative. Now Cl negative is going to, because it has extra electron, that is negative charge, it is going to give you chlorine gas plus electron. Okay, since we have 2 chlorine here, I will write 2, and 2 chlorine negative is going to give you 2 electrons, and I will also multiply 2 here in order to get this 2. This is also 2 and this is also 2. Okay, now we can balance the reaction. We'll get the reaction as 2 Na plus 2 Cl negative is going to give you 2 sodium solid plus Cl2 gas. Okay, so what are the products of electrolysis? Sodium solid and chlorine gas. Sodium is coming from cathode. At cathode you are going to get sodium, and chlorine you are going to get at anode. Please write this down. I hope it is easy to understand, not very difficult. Next case we are going to look when we are going to have aqueous NaCl. Okay, Excuse me, guys. लिख लिया आप लोगों ने? Can we move on? Yes or no? Please tell
Yes,
me.
sir. Done, sir.
Okay, right, next. Aqueous Na solution, NaCl solution in PT electrode. In PT electrode, okay. Now we have what? NaCl aqueous. So we have two different electrolytes. We have NaCl. Now NaCl is going to get dissociated into what? It is going to get dissociated into Na plus and Cl negative. We have aqueous, that means we have water. Water is now going to get dissociated into H plus and OH negative. H plus and OH negative. Okay. Now see. Again, PT electrode is there, so obviously platinum is inert, it is not going to take part in the reaction. Now, right, possible reactions. At cathode. Okay. Just a second, guys. Okay. In cathode, what is going to get attracted? Cations. I think you all can understand this easily. Yes or no? Please tell me. याद रहेगा? Cathode पे कौन आता है? What comes at cathode? In cathode, we get. What do we get in cathode? What do we get in cathode? Umar. Yes, Astha, Heshma, Minashi, you guys tell me. What do we get at cathode?
Cation.
Yeah, we get cation at cathode. Okay. So there are two cations here, Na plus and H plus. So a reaction can happen. Na plus plus electron giving me sodium solid. And another reaction can happen, H plus, or rather I can write here, wait a second. This will be 2H plus, right? OH negative, ठीक है? No, 2H2 कर देते हैं यहाँ पे. 2H2 is going to give you 2H plus and 2H negative. So this 2H plus plus 2 electron is going to give you H2 gas, just to balance the reaction. ठीक है? अच्छा, अब ये बताइए, the sodium metal, it is what element? Wedding element या छापा element? Sodium is what element? Wedding element or छापा element? Tell me, guys.
Welding element.
Wedding element. तो इसका E naught reduction क्या होगा? Positive होगा, negative होगा?
Negative.
E naught negative.
Negative.
And E naught of
Positive.
अरे zero, याद नहीं है?
Zero.
Wedding
Zero.
element, hydrogen zero,
Yes,
and then
sir.
छापा. सारा, you must be thinking ये क्या wedding elements हो रहा है? थोड़ा लेट है, but you will get the recordings and then you have that electrochemical series. Sara, you remember? There is something called electrochemical series.
Yes.
हाँ, ये वर्ड पता है ना? हाँ, तो वो कंटेंट जो है वो भी आपको याद हो जाएगा. Okay, I will give you my number. You will message me. I will send you the playlist, and from there you can watch the previous recordings. And then we can also meet sometimes. When you have any doubt, we can schedule some meetings there. Okay. E naught reduction for hydrogen is going to be what? 0 volts. Okay. अब बताइए यहाँ पे, what do you think it is having more reduction potential? किसका reduction potential ज्यादा है? सोडियम का या फिर what? हाइड्रोजन का?
So sodium.
कैसे सोडियम भैया? है मोहम्मद उमर, नेगेटिव है वो.
Oh, I see. Okay.
समझ में आ रहा है ना? So which is having higher reduction potential? Higher किसका है? हाइड्रोजन का हाइयर है। ओके, नाउ रादर देन राइटिंग 2H प्लस, देखिए हम क्या लिखते हैं बताते हैं आप। वी डोंट, व्हाट डू वी राइट, वी राइट यहाँ से देखिए, this 2H plus is coming from what? It is coming from water only. It is coming from water only. Okay, now rather than writing 2H plus, I am going to write 2H2. ठीक है, 2H2 से हमको एक प्रोडक्ट तो मिलता है 2H plus, वो तो हमको चाहिए था, that I am having, plus 2 electron, and in product I am going to get H2, right, plus I am going to get 2 OH negative also. 2H negative होता है. Can all of you understand this? Yes or no? Please tell me.
Yes, sir.
है ना? Okay, so this reaction is going to happen at cathode. Okay, so this is the reaction that is going to happen at cathode. That means what is the gas that is going to release? H2 gas is going to get released at the cathode. अब देखिए यहाँ पे possible reactions at anode. Okay, we have Cl negative, or rather we have 2 Cl negative. Is going to give you chlorine gas plus 2 electron, and we are going to get OH negative. Now OH negative, it gives out with 4 OH negative, I am going to get 2 H2O plus 4 electron plus O2 gas. Okay, so this is the reaction that can happen when we are having OH negative. Okay, when we are having OH negative. Now you guys tell me, what do you think, which is going to have more electrode potential, or rather higher oxidation potential? We have E naught oxidation, okay, and E naught oxidation. Okay, I'm going to give you the value here. Okay, I'm going to give you the value. This is minus 1.36 volts, and this is minus 1.23. Okay, so there are two, both of them are negative sign. Which is higher? Tell me, guys. Which is greater, chlorine or OH? Which is greater?
OH.
OH is greater, right? Correct. OH is greater. And you can also think about this in the manner. See, chlorine is what? Chlorine is going to get electrons quite easy. Chlorine is going to give electrons with much more difficulty. Okay. OH negative is having higher oxidation potential. Now comes the criteria of size. Even though, अच्छा यहाँ पे difference देखिए कितना है? Difference is not very high, correct? Difference between the E naught oxidation of OH negative and chlorine negative is not very high. But here OH negative is having big size. Why big size? Because it has two different atoms, oxygen and hydrogen. Both of these are what? Different atoms, and oxygen can get electron only from one side, right? Because hydrogen is placed in one of these places, right? So hydrogen is not going to get electron. What is going to get electron? Oxygen is going to get electron. So in this case, what happened? Even though the E naught oxidation of OH negative is minus 1.23 volts, experimentally, due to its large size, it requires, ये तो ideal conditions में होता है इस तरह का, right? It is going to be in ideal condition, but practically speaking, what happens? We require a bit higher energy, a bit higher voltage than minus 1.23. Now, this higher voltage, it is known as over voltage, and this over voltage is only due to what? The size of OH negative. It is due to what? Size of OH negative. Okay, write a point here. The formation of O2 in electrode is slow, and this slowness leads to need of greater potential than required This is known as over voltage. Hence, chlorine gas is formed rather than O2. So O2 is not formed. What is formed? Cl2 is formed due to over voltage. Okay, because of the size of OH negative atom. Right here, what are the products of electrolysis? We have at cathode, we get H2 gas. At anode, we are going to get chlorine gas. Okay, so these are the two things that we are going to get the product. Please write this down. Let me know once you're done.
Done, sir.
Is there anyone who is still writing?
I'm still writing.
Okay, okay. लिख लिया उमर आपने?
Yes, sir.
Done, everyone? Yes, Umar, done?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Right, next. Aqueous CuSO4 with platinum electrode. I am writing these things in red. Yeah, in red. Okay, right here. So what are the possible reactions? See, CSO4. I hope आप लोग अब खुद से कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे. It is going to give you Cu2 plus SO4, 2 negative. Then we have 2 water molecules. Going to give me 2H plus and 2 OH negative. ठीक है. So see, CuSO4 हो गया. If you have polyatomic ions na, and then you have water, OH negative. So obviously anions we don't even have a comparison here, even though we have more than one anion. This CuSO4 is very large in size, right? And that is why you're never going to make anything from CuSO4. If you have been given simple CuSO4, sorry, you are not going to make anything from SO4 2 negative if you have been given simple CuSO4, because CuSO4 has SO4 2 negative which is having very large size. So आपके पास एनोड पे जो anion आएगा, that will always be OH negative. In this case, there is no even, I mean, there is no question about it. But what are the possible reactions at cathode? Let us see that. Possible reaction. First of all, at cathode. So at cathode, we have two possible reactions. We have copper 2 plus. It can eat electrons and give you copper solid, or else we can have 2H plus 2 electron and it can give you H2 gas. अब ये बताइए, E0 for the copper one, ये कॉपर क्या है, छापा एलिमेंट या फिर वेडिंग एलिमेंट?
छापा एलिमेंट.
तो रिडक्शन क्या होगा इसका, पॉजिटिव या नेगेटिव?
पॉजिटिव.
वेरी गुड. So tell me which is going to get preferred, copper या हाइड्रोजन? किसका रिडक्शन पोटेंशियल ज्यादा होगा? Yeah. So copper is having high reduction potential, so it is going to get preferred. So why is this happening? Because SRP of is greater than SRP of hydrogen. Okay. Now at anode, copper you are going to get copper. Now at cathode you are going to get copper. At anode, there is no question. You are going to get what? You are going to get oxygen gas from OH negative. So rather than writing OH negative, you can write 2H2O is going to give you O2 plus 4H plus 4 electron. Okay. So you just need to remember the products of electrolysis. Products are going to be copper at cathode, O2 at anode. बात आ गई समझ में? Yes or no? Please tell me, guys. Which part? Tell me, Umar. Last आपने क्या सुना था उमर? उससे पहले हम पूछ रहे हैं आपसे, like what topic did you heard? Okay, listen guys here. In CuSO4 we have two different cations, Cu2 positive and H plus. Listen Umar, ठीक है? In CuSO4 we have two different cations, Cu2 plus and H plus. Copper has positive electrode potential, positive reduction potential. That is why it is going to get reduced preferentially than H plus. Hydrogen has 0, copper has positive. So copper is preferred at cathode. And in the H2O case, we have anode which is OH negative, and SO4 2 negative is what? It is the anion from CuSO4. Since SO4 2 negative is very large, it is not going to get oxidized because the oxidation of that is going to be very slow. The movement of that anion is going to be very slow. Rather, OH negative is going to get oxidized. Okay, so at cathode we are going to have Cu2 plus giving us copper solid, and at anode we are going to have O2 gas from OH negative, and that OH negative is obviously coming from water molecule. That's it. Acha guys, now listen here. Let's suppose you have aqueous AgNO3, ठीक है? तो क्या क्या मिलेगा? H प्लस मिलेगा, OH नेगेटिव मिलेगा, Ag प्लस मिलेगा, NO3 negative मिलेगा. Now, if I am going to compare the cations, so tell me, Ag plus is what? Wedding element or chapa element? Ag plus is what? Wedding element. What element? Wedding element. कहाँ पे आ रहा है बताइए तो, बारात में आ रहा है या फिर वो सुबह में मंजन कर फेंक दे में है, या फिर कोई निगाह सुंदरी प्यार करी आस्था? टेल मी वेयर इट इज.
Okay, chapa element. Oh,
पापा में ही
like
तो है ना?
yes.
So this is going to have positive. So Ag is going to get preferred at cathode. ठीक है, अब बताइए. सी NO3 negative is going to be what? Very huge in size. That is why OH negative is going to get oxidized and it is going to form O2 gas. Can you guys write the reaction? This one please. Ag plus का लिख सकते हैं, and for OH negative we have written already in terms of H2O also and in terms of OH negative also. So I hope you can write both of these reactions. Yes or no please tell me.
Yes.
ऐसे ही लिख लीजिएगा ना आप लोग. देखिए इस तरह से लिखना पूरा यहाँ तक, प्लीज लिखिएगा लेकिन. ओके, यू विल प्रैक्टिस दिस. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू लुक एट अ डिफरेंट टाइप. एक और देख लीजिए केस. अगर आपके पास मान लीजिए CuCl2 है. ओके, यू हैव CuCl2 एंड देन वाटर. सो वाटर इज गोइंग टू गिव यू aqueous. H plus and copper. यहाँ पे copper 2 positive is going to get preferred because copper 2 positive is छापा element. Water में आपके पास क्या होगा? Water will give you OH negative and copper is going to give you Cl2, Cl negative, right? So from Cl negative, you are going to, this is going to get preferred. Cl negative is going to get preferred because of over voltage of OH negative. ठीक है, Cl negative and OH negative में which is going to get preferred? Cl negative is going to get preferred and copper में copper 2 positive. ठीक है. एक write the next part which is very important. Aqueous CuSO4 with copper electrode. Okay, with copper electrode. Now in this case, copper is active electrode. क्योंकि copper क्या है? It is reactive. It is not inert, right? Copper is active electrode. Hence it takes part in the reaction. ठीक है, in the reaction. अब यहाँ पे देखिए आप, when we are going to get the possible reactions at cathode, we are going to have 3 participants. We can have 3 participants. Okay, right? Possible reactions. Possible reaction at what? Possible reaction at cathode. So in cathode, you are going to have either copper 2 plus, or you can have H plus, or you can have copper. Okay, you are having all of these things. Now see here. Okay. Oh, sorry. I have to give them electrons also. My bad. Plus 2 electron, 2H plus 2 electron, and this is also going to get some electrons. अब यहाँ पे आप बताइए, copper 2 plus is going to give you copper, H plus is going to give you hydrogen gas, and copper plus electron is going to give you copper negative. ठीक है. So obviously you will say that this reaction cannot happen. Why cannot happen? Because copper is a metal and it has a tendency to lose electron rather than gaining electron. So copper is not going to gain electron because it is a metal, and a metal has a tendency to lose electron. So obviously that reaction is not going to happen. And when we are going to compare copper 2 plus and H plus, so copper is going to have what? Positive, and this is going to have 0. So the preferred reaction at cathode is what? This reaction, yes or no? Please tell me, guys.
Yes, sir.
Copper 2 plus. Okay. अब देखिए आप लोग, possible reaction at anode. Possible reaction at anode is going to be, see, SO4 2 negative तो होगा ही नहीं, right? So we have two different cases. We have OH negative giving you some O2 gas and some electrons, right? I'm not going to look at what are the different products here, but we know, we have an idea. We have an anion that is OH negative, and it is going to give us O2 gas. And then we have copper. Copper is going to give you copper 2 plus plus electron. अब ये बताइए आप, what do you think? Oxygen, it has a tendency to lose electron more, or copper has a tendency to lose more electron? Tell me, guys, which has tendency to lose more electron? Oxygen, which is higher in electronegativity, which is a non-metal, or copper, which is a metal? What do you think what do you think is having more potential to lose electron? Copper or oxygen, the OH negative? अच्छा, भले ही आप लोग को नहीं पता होगा, ठीक है, but you know that OH negative is having, what is the E naught oxidation for OH negative? Tell me. Minus 1 point something something was there. याद है कुछ थोड़ा आपको? We did this a while ago. Yes or no, guys? Please tell me. E naught oxidation of OH negative is 1 point something something. Yes or no? Please tell me. नहीं याद है किसी को? अरे please look. And I think you should answer even with this. OH negative, it has tendency to lose electron, or copper has tendency to lose electron? See, OH negative is what? It is more electronegative. It is going to protect its electron, right? Copper is what metal? Copper has a tendency to lose electron. Okay, copper has a tendency to lose electron. Yeah, tell me, guys, which is going to lose electron, OH negative or copper? Oh, Astha, Hishma, Khalid, Khalil, tell me, guys. ये भी माइक तो ऑन कीजिए आप लोग, डांट सुनिएगा क्या? You remember this? E naught oxidation of OH negative is minus 1 point something. Look at the case of aqueous NaCl. I hope all of you have written this. Astha, tell me yes or no. Did you write this?
Yes, sir.
तो फिर आप आंसर क्यों नहीं करें? हिश्मा, did you write this? Yes, Hishma. E naught oxidation of OH negative. Did you write
Minus
it?
1.23.
हाँ, ठीक है. So you just remember minus 1 point something it is there, right? Okay, remember it, minus 1.23. Now you can remember because it is 1, 2, 3, right? And there is a point between 1 and 2. Now, can anyone remember what is the E naught oxidation of copper? You please flip some pages, move to the part where we have learned the standard EMF of the cell. And in the standard EMF of the cell, we have done so many questions on zinc and copper cells. And in zinc and copper cells, we had reduction potential given for copper. You just need to change the sign of reduction potential to make it oxidation potential. Flip some pages and tell me what is the E naught oxidation of copper. Or rather, you can also tell me what is the E naught reduction of copper, and then I can convert it. Okay. Whatever you see first, please let me know. E naught reduction or E naught oxidation of copper. Did anyone get it? No. Flip some pages, guys. Flip some pages. Flip some pages, guys. नहीं मिल रहा आप लोगों को? यस हिश्मा मीनाक्षी, हाँ खालिद
प्लस
बताइए।
0.34 वोल्ट
एक सेकंड फिर से बोलिए जरा।
प्लस 0.34 वोल्ट।
ऑक्सीडेशन है रिडक्शन है ये बताइए आप पहले।
सर ऑक्सीडेशन।
ऑक्सीडेशन है, ठीक से देखिए। कॉपर का ई नॉट
Reduction.
रिडक्शन लिखा होगा या तो सिर्फ ई नॉट लिखा होगा। इफ इट इज ओनली ई नॉट then please remember the line by IUPAC convention. The E naught standard electrode potential of any half cell is given as is represented by the standard reduction potential. ठीक है, जो standard electrode potential होता है वही आपका क्या है, standard reduction potential ये है. So E naught oxidation is going to be minus 0.34. Correct है guys? Yes or no? Please tell me. Is this right
Yes,
guys? Yes or no? हाँ ठीक है. अब बताइए किसका होगा, OH नेगेटिव होगा या फिर Cu होगा? Which is higher? किसका ऑक्सीडेशन पोटेंशियल ज्यादा है?
Copper.
कॉपर।
कॉपर का ज्यादा है. वेरी गुड. So this is not going to happen and the copper one is going to happen. ठीक है. Now very beautiful thing happen in the electrolytic cell when we have active electrode. So let us see here. Oh my god, I'm really sorry. And here we are going to have positive, negative, positive, negative. There is water here. So we have positive and we have negative. Now at cathode what was happening? Tell me guys, at cathode. देखिए यहाँ पे
CO2 plus
cathode
plus 2A minus gives copper.
है ना, और एनोड में क्या हो रहा था? See, in from anode what is going to happen? Copper is going away from the anode and it is going to give you copper 2 plus. Now, and what is happening in the cathode? Copper 2 plus is going to this rod and it is getting converted to copper. So what they do, this is one of the method of purification. At the anode they add impure copper. Now when we have impure copper, then what is going to happen? Now whatever the impurity is there in copper, it is not going to get converted into the ion, right? It is not going to get converted into ion. Why? Because it is not copper. So if it is not copper, it is not going to get dissolved into the copper CuSO4 solution. We have what solution here? We have CuSO4 solution. Now since copper is not going to get converted into ion, only the pure copper particles is going to get converted into ion and then it is going to get deposited into this part that is your cathode. Okay? And slowly what will happen? This impure copper will get turned into pure copper. Is this clear guys how this happens? Yes or no? Please tell me. Yes or
Yes.
no? Okay, fine. Can you hear some laughing voice? Yes, Astha? No.
No, sir.
Acha, my god. Zoom. Noise cancellation is so good. I have my cousins right beside me. They're all watching. They're all learning well standard electrochemistry.
So should we draw the diagram?
Yeah, sure. You can draw the diagram. And also just, I mean that impure and pure one is important. Okay. So draw it.